With Season of the Lost came a meta that not many people actually saw incoming, simply because of the fact that it launched an archetype of weapons into the spotlight that many did not see coming. For those who don't know, because of particle deconstruction, linear fusions and fusion rifles, including 1K and various other exotic and legendary forms, have rocketed to the top of damage and DPS. But because of that, some other details in the season have gone unnoticed. So, one major change that came with Season Lost as well was a detail with white ammo weaponry. Now, for those who don't know, white ammo weapons, which are basically your primaries, submachine guns, hand cannons, scout rifles, pulse rifles, and a rare few exotics that also, while firing grenades or something like that, take white ammo, they have infinite ammo. Now, they don't have bottomless mags, they still have magazine counts, so they have 34 rounds they shoot before they have to reload, but their ammo reserves are infinite. Because of that, there are a meta or two that actually can come back and actually hit pretty dang hard, because before they used to chew through ammo, but now they don't. Now, auto rifles have been handy in this season mainly because of anti-barrier auto rifle, and in terms of the anti-barrier department, aside from Ariana's Vow, it is the only thing piercing barriers right now, and that is auto rifles. Now, because of Threaded Needle in its God Roll form, we can often have a legendary linear fusion in the heavy slot and save up an exotic for elsewhere. A lot of people have been taking that to bows because a lot of our Nightfalls this season require overload, but there are alternate legendary options that are available for that. So we have a kinetic slot that is available for exotic, and one that people have been sleeping on just because it's more of a meme weapon for Crucible is a personal favorite, Sweet Buisness. Now, for those who don't know, this one is essentially heir apparent but kinetic and primary ammo. It holds 150 rounds per mag, and while its stats might not look legendary, once it spins up and actually gets going, it actually can dump a lot of rounds and a lot of damage out for a basic auto rifle. It also comes with armor piercing rounds, which is a decent incentive to run for anti-barrier reasons, because armor-piercing rounds, while may not make a monumental difference, it does give a buff against additional barrier champion damage, as opposed to just normal high caliber or ricochet. Now, with the catalyst as well, it does also give you incoming reduced flinch for when you are fully spun up, which if you pair with a special weapon and a special exotic with something like Actium War Rig, which literally will just auto-load your gun even while you're holding it and firing it, that will literally make it so that this gun can be a new anti-barrier king while also being the anti-flinch king. Now, there is some more minor details. It is an auto rifle, so it might not be the king of damage in terms of other things, and while it might not be a DPS monster, it is advantageous in ways that is unbelievable. Now, I'm going to bring these two on, and I'm going to take you out into the wild and show you what makes this thing so special. So you throw on your Actium War Rig, you throw on Sweet Buisness, you even throw in the anti-barrier rounds, which even outside of GM and champion content can actually be pretty beneficial just because of all the immunity things. But you throw on all three of these pieces and you lay on the trigger. Now, I will warn, it's because Actium, this specific method is a little bit more restricted to Titans, but Sweet Buisness is also an option available for all three classes, just because it is a solid option in pure, consistent output. Now, if you throw an Actium War Rig and you just hold down the trigger, I'm not even kidding when I say this, you can hold the trigger for almost 30 straight seconds. And when you start the reload animation, that isn't even the end, because as you can see, the counter is already past half. The auto-loading feature already has me almost at completely full capacity without even doing anything. Now, there is one unfortunate exception when it comes to the autoloader. You do have to be holding it. So if I swap off to my secondary and then swap back, I'm I'm not even sure, but officially, I do think it's an autoloader in the background, but of course, this basically is just a monster for complete and consistent damage output. And in GM content, while there isn't many strikes that actually have the need for anti-barrier this season, because if I remember correctly, checking, Exodus Crash and the Devil's Lair and Proving Grounds are the only 3 that need anti-barrier. The rest are all Overload Unstoppable. Now, as well, unfortunately, just because of the limited needs, you won't have a lot to actually place for it, but whenever you do, and unfortunately with Exodus Crash this week, there aren't a lot of anti-barrier opportunities. There's way more anti-overload. So a lot of you might think it's a little bit better just to go straight up exotic bow like Leia Menard, because I'm not even kidding, I recently picked that up again. This is an ultimate anti-overload bow, but at the same time, if you want just consistent output, there is almost no better option than this. 30 straight seconds, multiple hundreds of rounds output, as well as the fact that you don't even need to reload this. Plus, it has this special little bit that if you pick up any heavy ammo while holding this weapon, you will get an automatic reload for free. Just because of the way this worked before, if you picked up ammo, it was fed directly in, but because this doesn't pick up ammo anymore, it kind of feeds immediately into everything anyways. So I'm going to leave you with some Grandmaster footage of me using Sweet Buisness against a few champions and let you see how it actually performs there. Like I said, it's not the best damage king, but is made for just constant output. And in other high ad concentration content, this could be the most lucrative ad slayer you never thought of, simply because this weapon was a meme almost since it was introduced. With that, I leave you with the GM footage, and I will see you in the next video.